Good, happy Sunday morning, March 31st, 2019, the last day of March, and welcome to this edition of Good Morning, New Hampshire. Let's begin with your local news. First up, hundreds march to bring awareness to opioid issues. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Heather Hamill.
At Beltade's, customers will find everything they need for a building project. The brand names you trust to perform. And with a fleet of over 50 delivery vehicles, we deliver when and where our customers need them. Beltade's Building Products. 9 locations throughout New Hampshire and Massachusetts.
Defy the odds! Defy the odds! Set a new standard! Set a new standard! Step up! Step up! Step up!
And that's just what they did. Stepped up and marched. The message today is awareness is healing.
And many of the people who are walking today, they have lost loved ones to drug addiction. And they say rather than hide from the problem, it's best to have your voices heard and hopefully save lives.
I am a force for good! I am a force for good!
Hundreds walked in Nashua Saturday, from people who work with those struggling with addiction to families who have lost loved ones in the fight. Like 9-year-old William, who lost his uncle a little less than a year ago.
He came to most of the parties, and we like to watch sports together.
His mother says she always tried to shield her kids from her brother's addiction, but now she's speaking out.
Now we're just spreading the word to everybody. We're not sweeping it under the rug anymore. It's important for people to know this is what's happening, and it's bad. You know, I wish I would have been spreading the word while he was still here, but this is the best thing I can do to remember him.
And they were not alone. Others wore or carried pictures of those who have died.
It's something that's very personal to each of us, and all we can do is do things like this and hope that it gives one person here hope to get away from the addiction itself.
According to American Medical Response, Nashua overdoses have declined this year. As of mid-March, there were 4 drug-related deaths, but the mayor believes safe stations have helped. He also says that 1 death is too many, and the city is always working to do more.
We have a Mayor's Opioid Task Force where we try to develop new treatment opportunities, new treatment, and other ways that prevention, reaching out to the kids in the community to try to persuade people that heroin and opioids is not the way to go.
Now this is the 7th walk of its kind in 4 short years, and organizers say it is a lot of work, but if it's saving lives, it's really worth it. Reporting in Nashua, Heather Hamill, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Manchester man killed in Peterborough Crash. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Police have released the name of a man killed in a crash in Peterborough this morning. It happened on Route 101 in the area of Condy Road. Police say the driver, 30-year-old Jason Hart of Manchester, crossed the center line and hit a tree. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The accident is being investigated.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Bristol man died of gunshot wound to abdomen, officials say. Let's go to that video from WMUR News 9.
And also breaking news at Bristol tonight, where a suspicious death has been ruled a homicide. The Attorney General's office has identified the victim as 52-year-old Stephen Hall. Authorities discovered Hall's body yesterday at a home on Summer Street. Autopsy results show he died from a gunshot wound. We'll keep you updated on that story as more details become available.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Two residents, one firefighter suffer minor injuries in Alton blaze. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Alton Fire officials say loss of water as they were fighting a house fire yesterday allowed that fire to grow to 3 alarms. Fire crews say once they got into the scene on Main Street, heavy flames were showing from a 2-family home. The people inside managed to get out safely. 2 of them were treated and released from the hospital, and a firefighter was also treated for a hand injury. The cause appears to be accidental.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Busy weekend of events draws hundreds to downtown Manchester. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Siobhan Lopez.
This is your invitation to a higher standard of luxury. This is the invitation to Lexus Sales Event.
Lease the 2019 ES350 for $379 a month for 36 months now through March 31st.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
It's the weekend of the Citizens Bank Shamrock races in Manchester. 2,000 runners competed Saturday in a half marathon and relay race. Helping them paint the city green were the thousands of spectators there to cheer them on.
Yes, loved it. You know, they do good. I wish I could be in the race, but I gotta work at the gym longer.
It's been so much fun. We've been just like walking around everywhere.
It's just lively, lots of fun, a lot of people. Yeah, good energy, a lot of energy.
Terry Roberts of Belmont just completed her 50th half marathon.
Run with my daughter. She does like 50 marathons, so.
It's great. You know, it's so wonderful to be able to host events like this and have people come downtown and enjoy everything that Manchester has to offer.
Avid runner Mayor Joyce Craig celebrated a successful relay run with her team at the Thirsty Moose, one of the many businesses cashing in on all of the activity downtown.
The Bookery for a coffee or to grab some books, or all of the restaurants to enjoy, you know, lunch or dinner. It's just, you know, we're open and welcoming and a great place to be.
The Shaskeen was also packed throughout the day as Manchester continues its tradition of extending the St. Patrick's Day holiday through the end of the month.
The road races and the St. Patrick's Day parade is so great for us. It brings in so many people, and we get to share the culture of the bar and Ireland with everybody in Manchester, which is so great.
So tomorrow you've got the Shamrock Shuffle, you've got this Manchester St. Patrick's Parade, along with the Reptile Expo, all going on here downtown. We have information about road closures and detours on our website, WMUR.com. We're live in Manchester this evening. Siobhan Lopez, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Looks like fun in downtown Manchester. Very cool indeed. Suspicious death of man, woman in Hollis under investigation. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Tim Callery.
Well, Well, Jamie and Charisse, the Attorney General's office says this is a fluid situation and their investigation is very much in its early stages. But this is what we know right now. The Attorney General's office and Hollis Police launched this suspicious death investigation after an adult male and adult female were found dead here in Hollis. Senior Assistant Attorney General Peter Hinckley says investigators have identified everyone connected to this case. Now, the names of the deceased and how they died are unknown at this time. Their identities will be released once their next of kin have been identified.
We expect that autopsy will be conducted either tomorrow or Monday, and we'll have some additional information to provide at that point in time.
But again, a suspicious death investigation underway here in Hollis after 2 people were found dead. Police are really stressing at this time that there's no threat to the general public. Reporting live in Hollis, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And switching gears now, let's talk about the weather. Weather right now is overcast, 49 degrees. Your weather for today, cloudy with a round of showers, highs in the 50s. And your weather for tonight, some clouds this evening will give way to mainly clear skies overnight. Low 32 degrees, winds west-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And switching gears now, let's talk about sports. The Boston Celtics had a game last night, and that score was Boston Celtics 96 and Brooklyn Nets 110. The Brooklyn Nets won. The Boston Celtics lost last night. And also, the Red Sox played last night, and that score, Boston Red Sox 5 and Seattle Mariners 6. The Boston Red Sox lost, and they play today at 4:10 p.m. And switching gears now, let's go to your arts and entertainment. And let's see what type of events are happening today in New Hampshire. The Milford Antique Show at Hampshire Hills Athletic Club begins at 8:30 a.m. Manchester Stamps Club QPEX Stamp Show, Miller Filsby Post number 37, American Legion, begins at 9 o'clock a.m. Volunteer Trail Workday, Squam Lake Association, begins at 9 o'clock a.m. The New England Reptile Expo at Doubletree Hotel begins at 9:30 a.m. Spring Castleberry Farm Fair Arts and Craft Festival, Shrine Auditorium, begins at 10 o'clock a.m. New Hampshire Camp and RV Vehicle Show begins at 10 o'clock a.m. at New Hampshire Sportsplex. Build a Bird Nest begins at 10 o'clock a.m. at Squam Lake Association. New Hampshire Maple Month Weekend number 4, various New Hampshire Sugar Houses, begins at 10 o'clock a.m. Inspiration Lakes Region Art Gallery begins at 10 o'clock a.m. And Motor Mania 2019 at McIntyre Ski Area begins at 10 o'clock a.m. And also, you have the Shamrock Shuffle that begins at 11 o'clock a.m. And followed by that is the St. Patrick's Day Parade, begins at noon. And those are the events happening today in New Hampshire. And tomorrow, as you all know, is April. So, here is a list of 10 best free events happening in April. Let's take a look. And also in the month of April is Easter. Here's the first event, Easter egg hunt statewide throughout the month of April. International Mail Art Exhibit in Manchester. Exeter Lit Fest in Exeter. Spring Craft Fair in Windham, Milford Indoor Farmers Market in Milford, 90th Annual Seacoast Veterans Conference in Portsmouth, Songs of Immigration, Storytelling through the Tradition Irish Music in Northampton. New Hampshire Next, a summit for young change makers in Goffstown. The 7th Annual Veg Fest in Manchester. And discover Wild New Hampshire Day in Concord. There's all the events happening for free in New Hampshire in the month of April. Very cool indeed. And we have a recipe to share with all of you. Look at this spring bruschetta salad by the executive chef Barry Lakes of Oak and Gain gives his tips on making this spring dish. Take a look. Sounds very yummy. A yummy, yummy dish. And that does it for this edition of Good Morning New Hampshire for this Sunday, the last day of March. Tomorrow is April. Have a great Sunday, everyone. See you back here later on for Good Evening New Hampshire. Goodbye, everyone.